Wabanaki Public Health and Wellness started a podcast to lift up Indigenous voices through important conversations.
Now, as they go into season 2 of the podcast, they're excited to welcome everyone to listen, connect, and learn about Wabanaki culture. I got to listen in on an episode coming very soon. Here's more.
Can you hear us okay?
I can. You sound good.
A platform where Indigenous voices are built through connection.
Welcome to Aunties on Air.
And some uncles too.
Through conversations.
We are your hosts, Lisa
and Clarissa, coming to you from Wabanaki territory.
All done through Wabanaki Public Health and Wellness to share the power of relationships and healing with a focus on Wabanaki culture.
So there are so many stories about us as Wabanaki people, the Mi'kmaq, Maliseet, Penobscot, and Passamaquoddy, and we want to share those stories. We want to share those stories with our communities for sure, but we also want to share those stories with everybody else. We talk about all things. We have authors that come and see us.
Usually I drop a name before I'm supposed to, so let's do that before I make a mistake.
Clarissa Sabatis, chief of the Holton Band of Maliseet Indians, joined the podcast as a new host for season 2. It was a different change of pace, but with the connections she's created and shared so far,
I have no regrets now. It's been amazing.
Sabatis says she realized the work is not only being noticed locally, but thousands of listeners are tuning in nationwide. A tribal member shared with Sabatis what the podcast has done for her and her kids.
She talked about how this podcast has been a way for her kids and herself to really connect, and they feel like they're so far away, and it really has been something that they love. They love hearing about what's happening here, but it makes them feel like they're connected to us.
Saka Basin says keeping the connection to Wabanaki values heals. So every episode, every conversation is a form of medicine for each listener to enjoy.
What makes you stay on that journey of service, of love, of care when you're having those conversations every single day?
To listen to episodes of Aunties on Air and some uncles too, just follow the link on our website and mobile app.
Very cool. Season 2.